Hello, Mindbakers. Welcome to another episode of Mindbakery with Sumit and myself. Hey, man, what's up?
Hi Mohit, how are you doing?
I'm all good. But what is up? What is
Cool.
happening in the world?
Oh, a lot is happening in the world. A lot.
So this last week, I was on Twitter. I've been seeing this thing for many weeks now, but for last couple of weeks, my mind is just blown with this thing called non-fungible tokens or NFTs for short. Uh, it is amazing. I mean, how in 2017 CryptoKitties came in, then there was almost nothing for last 2 3 years, and but now it's all NFTs. It's like ICOs in 2017. Everybody has an NFT. People are making money with NFTs. It's all NFTs. Have you heard about it?
Right. Yes, I have heard a bit of chatter around NFTs. And to be honest, I'm still not very sure if I understand the concept in its full capacity. But yeah, I have some thoughts about it. So maybe you can clarify them in a better way. Yeah.
Okay, so NFT simply means non-fungible tokens, which means tokens which are not fungible, but what is fungible? So for example, if you have a $10 bill, and I have a $10 bill, both of them are basically
Right.
same. We can exchange them with each other, and we'll be fine. I mean, we'll be still be at the same point. So this is called fungible when all the tokens are equal. So in case if you have Ethereum or Bitcoin, your one Bitcoin is equal to my one Bitcoin, your one Ethereum is equal to my one Ethereum, your $1 is equal to my $1. Everything is same. So these are non-fungible, these are exchangeable. But then comes
Okay.
non-fungible token which are not same. So for example, think of the painting of Mona Lisa. So painting of Mona
Okay.
Lisa is only one in the world, which
Sure.
is not equal to any other painting. Take any song.
Right.
All the songs are one of a kind. All songs are different. Even though some songs might be similar, all songs are different.
Right.
So these are things which are non-fungible. So what the world has done is the world has realized that these one of a kind things can also exist in digital medium. So there is Mona Lisa
Mm-hmm.
painting, a physical painting that Leonardo da Vinci physically painted it with color paints and brushes. But what if,
Right.
but what if you just take an art, make it digital, and make it collectible, make it one of a kind?
Okay.
So how do you do it again? You do it on blockchain. So on blockchain, you can say, hey, these bits and bytes. So these zero, these this organization of zeros and ones is on blockchain
Mm-hmm.
and can be owned by only some one person.
Right.
And there can be no other owner of the same combination of zeros and ones on the entire blockchain. So that makes a little scarce, little collectible. That's what NFTs are. It started out with an experiment of CryptoKitties, where it was a game where you have some mean kitties just breeding in the digital world. So you own some kitties, I own some kitties, and all of those kitties are recorded on blockchain. Who is the owner of which kitty? uh,
Okay. Okay.
yep. So but now everybody has taken every so any artist can create an art, put it out as an NFT. Then if people like it, people can bid on it, and the creator can choose the bid. Hey, this is the price I am willing to sell it for. And then this combination of zeros and ones finally is given to some other owner.
Cool. So sounds cool. The concept. So basically, if I understand correctly, this idea is about establishing ownership of a product. Uh, it could be a digital as well as a physical product, right? That's what you're trying to say.
Not physical. I mean, physical had been happening anyway. The paintings, music, all of this. But physical is not possible on blockchain, because how do you convert something physical to digital? That's another question.
Uh, no, so correct me if I'm wrong here. So suppose you own a piece of a vintage computer system.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's a collectible.
Hmm.
Now, how do you suppose you're buying an old vintage hardware on an
Hmm.
auction site?
Okay.
So you buy it via online payment or whatever, and
Hmm.
then you have to basically claim the ownership of the product, which the auction manager will do that. But importantly, you will also have to claim responsibility of keeping it safe now, right? So maybe you will keep it in a in a steel safe, or maybe you will keep it in a bank locker or
Mm-hmm.
some such custodian service provider,
Mm-hmm.
or you'll just keep it safe in your basement or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's the kind of thing I'm understanding here when you buy an offline product, you buy
Mm-hmm.
auctions.
Yes. Yes.
So if I'm thinking correctly, your idea of NFTs could be applicable here in the sense that now I do not have to keep it safe with me. Maybe I can keep it with a custodian service, except that I can now claim ownership via the same mechanism that, time stamping or whatever kind of information that you have on these blockchains.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's one way of claiming keeping ownership while still not keeping the physical product within my immediate reach.
Mhm. I mean, it's no different than what is happening right now.
Okay.
Ownership of physical product is again very dicey. I mean, how do you really prove that you own something even if you have the ownership? You cannot. I mean, only if the other person believes that this ownership is worthy enough, it happens. This is here is you own that zeros and ones, because zeros and ones is mathematics. Nobody has to keep any custody. Everything is just logged by. So it's like saying, uh, uh, it's like if you have something, a very, say, a vintage book. You put that book in a box, you lock it, and then you announce it to the world, this is my book. Now nobody can touch it, nobody can steal it from you. Nothing can happen because everything is digital. So NFTs really make sense in case of digital, because then there's a huge debate going on, how do you convert something physical to digital, because there has to be some layer of trust between the that layer, which which connects this digital fingerprint to this physical thing.
Maybe I missed the point. So suppose I have a vintage book in a
Hmm.
digital format,
Hmm.
right? So I thought, or I assumed NFT was about claiming ownership and not about protecting the content. I mean, the content is widely available. Anybody can
Yes.
use it.
Yes.
Anybody can and distribute it.
Screenshot
But
it. Yes.
right, but you just cannot sell it because you're not the owner.
You can even sell it. So
You can even sell it, but not claiming the ownership. Yeah, sure, you're
yes,
redistributing
yes,
it.
yes. NFT, owning an NFT just means proving somebody that you are the owner. I mean, I can have a
Right,
Mona Lisa painting in my home, but everybody would know that's a fake painting. But
right,
maybe I'll be happy with it. So if there's a digital art, I can screenshot it, I can download it, I can make a copy of it, I can even sell it as another NFT. It's all
right.
possible.
Or you could sell it by saying it's a fake, and if somebody is still interested, that's also
Yes,
possible. I
yes.
understand. Yeah,
So
yeah,
that is all possible. But then there's only one Mona Lisa. I mean,
right,
if enough people know about it, they'll say, "Hey, I know you have similar painting, but I know that is fake. I don't really value it." I mean, the
right,
pro- the collectibles have value because you think other people also think it has value. I mean, it's a kind of
right.
paradox. Uh,
I know,
people
I know, I know.
people
Yeah,
collect things because they have some sort of emotional value attached to them. There's absolutely zero utility of collectibles, zero
yes, I
utility.
understand. Collectibles, it's like stamp collecting or anything
Yes.
even which you collect. It just has it doesn't have any objective value. It's just
Yep.
it's a perceived value, right?
Yep. 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 Exactly. So what really blew my mind was this person, Beeple. He sold his artwork for $69 billion.
Yeah, I read that.
And
Yes, I read that.
and there are two ways to look at it. One way is,
Mm-hmm.
hey, this artwork, $69 million, the world has gone crazy. But then if you really look at the artwork itself was phenomenal. So this person made an artwork every single day for 5,000 days, which means
Oh,
14 years. And then
okay.
this person took all of those 5,000 artwork, put it into one big image. So all of his 14 years of work in just one big image, and then he auctioned that. So now that this is not something which is a fluke, or the
Yeah,
world
yeah.
has gone crazy. This this story, this narrative around this artwork, hey, somebody, this is somebody's 14 years of work, which
Yes.
for more of us is lifetimes of work. This is somebody's lifetime of work. This has sold for $16 million. If you look at it that way, $16 million sounds like a reasonable price, at least to me. Um, so this is what is brilliant about it. I mean, maybe the not,
Yeah.
no, exactly not that pixels of different RGB color codes are valuable, but the
I
narrative
understand.
behind, but the narrative and the story behind those pixels, that is the influence.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. It has some sort of a sentimental value which cannot be objectively quantified, but
Yep,
it's still remarkable
yep,
uh, uh, what this whole thing turned out to be. Yeah.
yep. Also, I was thinking of some hacks. I mean, if if I use my hacker mind to uh, uh, do some non entirely legit stuff. So I think of things like, what if you take the most popular NFTs that are sold, you make a copy of
Mhm.
it, and then you sell them as a first copy. I mean, hey, this is the first fake copy, something like that. I mean, that is a story.
Uh,
That is also a story.
I mean, I'm not even sure whether that is not legit because from clothing to jewelry to technology pieces, I don't think, I mean, yes, for the creator it's a headache because you're basically undercutting his profits or whatever. But these sort of things have been happening, and I don't think there is any reasonable way to stop this. It's just that probably, I mean, it's not really a problem of NFTs or some such
Oh,
thing. It's
absolutely.
yeah.
I'm just saying, maybe there are some very low hanging fruits to make quick bucks in this space. So we know
Right,
Mona Lisa painting is one of a kind in a museum, and it is worth millions of dollars. But then
right.
you still can buy a Mona Lisa painting, which is a replica for $1,000. Now it
True.
is not really collectible, but people do still spend, say, $1,000 to just put it as a showcase, say, on in their study or something. I'm just saying,
Right.
just make a copy of any popular NFT and sell it for $1,000. Zero
Uh-huh.
work, little bit of reward. If you do it 100 times, you have decent amount of reward. So again, just a low hanging fruit. What might happen? I'm not
Uh,
saying this has been happening or I am planning to do it, but one
no,
of
so
the low
let
hanging
me
fruits.
understand this. So let me understand this properly. Suppose there are no NFTs.
Hmm.
So even then you can do that, right? You
Oh,
could
of
just
course, of
copy
course.
paste. Why is this thinking of replication associated with NFTs? Probably I missed that part.
Oh, no. I'm just saying, if you replicate without NFTs, you can replicate, but you cannot put a price to it. But within NFT, you can actually put a price to it. So, for example, if combination of zeros and ones sold for $10,000, you can just copy the same zeros and ones and sell it for $10. I
But
mean,
then
somebody out there, out of 7 billion people, would still be interested in spending $10 to buy a copy of a very popular, expensive NFT.
it's still a copy, right?
Yeah, it's still a copy. That's why only
Okay.
$10.
Okay, fine. I think I understand. Yeah.
Yeah. Still a
Sure.
copy,
I mean,
and
it's
not endorsed by the creator. Nothing at all.
right,
Uh,
right, right. I understand. Okay, so you're on the NFT platform itself, you're selling copies. That's what you mean, right?
yeah. So you actually tell the story.
Okay,
Hey, this is the copy of the NFT. So that, because my
okay,
point is, when it's all about story, this is also a story, which might not
sure.
resonate with 99% of the world, but might resonate with 1%. So that is one. I don't know if this will work, but maybe this might had been happening. There's a concept of first copy in designer dresses, paintings, some books. So that could be it. Also, I was thinking, now, because people have these collectibles,
Mm-hmm.
collectibles
Right.
make sense when you're able to show them off. I mean,
Okay.
okay, so what if, because if you're collecting something and in real life, so not necessarily you show them off on the internet to everybody, but maybe you do. uh, but probably if somebody who is equally enthusiastic about these things, when they meet you, you show them, hey, this is what I've got, this is what I've got. I used to collect those Pokemon cards when I was a kid, and I used to show them all to my, hey, I've got this Pokemon, I've got Mewtwo, Mew1, all of these, with my
Right.
friends. And within that group of five people, those things were valuable. So now,
Sure.
how do you show off your NFTs? So I was thinking, uh, uh, another idea, which is, what if somebody builds a digital museum of NFTs, so everybody can have a museum? So, for example, Sumit can have a museum of his own, Mohit can have a museum of his own, where we showcase our NFTs. And because these NFTs come with the cryptographically secured certificate of authentication, this could be as simple as, hey, sign up for our platform, enter your private key, like log in with your wallet, and we can just find all the NFTs on the blockchain associated with this wallet, and we'll just show them over here. Uh,
Yeah, sort of like a digital gallery.
yeah, digital gallery, yes. Museum, and then this will be just like your next Instagram. Sumit would be showing, hey, and now people will have uh, even more urge to buy these NFTs. So this is like fueling cycle, where when you have a way to show them off, and this can be totally
Okay.
anonymous also, because this is all just based on a private key. When you have ability to show them off, you tend to buy even more.
But this would still require the permission of the owner, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Of course, of course, of course.
So if that is there, then even something like, I could borrow a piece of art just to showcase it on my gallery, and I can
Mhm.
just maybe pay the guy a percentage of what I make out of the gallery revenues, right? That's also possible.
I mean, borrowing is not allowed in the protocol, but this is a new idea,
Okay.
because now you have collectibles. Maybe you want to lend them out.
Yeah, I can lend them out, make money, and then give a percentage of my
Yes,
my profit to
yes.
the guy.
Yes, yes, yes. So this is interesting because, oh wow, now we are talking actually. So NFTs that can be lent out, and because this is all cryptographic, so you can actually put a timestamp. Hey, lent this out to
Yeah,
this wallet for next 3 days, and after 3 days, it all comes back to you. There's no stealing, no logistics involved. Oh, this is interesting. I mean, wow,
right.
exactly what has been happening in the world, because museums lend things to each other for their
Yeah.
showcases, and they make money that way. If I
I
lend
mean,
something to you,
there are families, which have old stuff lying around with them from generations. I mean,
yep.
they have been owning it for so long that probably the sense of excitement of owning it maybe not as high, but maybe if they are lending it to somebody and they're getting some incentive out of it, maybe it all makes a lot more sense now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, also there could be a paywall, just like tickets in museums. So
Right,
I could not be owning NFTs, but I could be a very good curator. So, for example, I'll reach
right,
out to all these owners and I'll say, hey, can I borrow this for 3 days? Can I borrow this for 2 days? Can I borrow this for one day? And different costs. I pay all of them, and then I curate them in a
right.
nice museum with a good story, with nice ambience. Maybe this is the product should allow, like
Sure.
customizing everything, and then I put a paywall for it. Hey, come and watch my curation for $30. People come
Right.
in. So basically, I have borrowed all of this thing for $100. I make $120 out of my museum, and then all of these things go back to their original uh, owners.
Just standard borrowing and lending business can still be achieved here. I don't know about the protocol, but it
I
could be
think
possible.
absolutely. I think protocol allows you to lend and borrow tokens. Protocol allows you to have non-fungible tokens, but I don't think
Okay.
anybody has ever thought of lending or borrowing non-fungible tokens. This is interesting.
Okay.
This
Okay.
is this is interesting. I mean, if anybody is listening, and if you think we are wrong, just correct us in the comment section. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. So we are still learning about this stuff, but this is an interesting idea. So I was just thinking, the think of it like a pin board on Pinterest.
Mm-hmm.
So on Pinterest, you do
Okay.
not really own. the content. You just curate in your pinboard, and then you have followers for that pinboard. You say, hey, these are
Right.
all the interesting uh, home office setups, for example. So if somebody is
Right.
looking for home office setups, they'll just follow your board because they know he has a nice taste which is similar to me, similar to mine.
Sure.
So this is another idea uh, uh,
Mhm.
that could be done. And the final idea that I had was you just do some little bit of arbitrage. What do I mean by this? Uh, there are people who do not know about NFTs but are great artists. But then there are
Sure.
you who is not an artist, or me who is not an artist but who knows about NFTs. So you pay these artists,
Right.
say, $5,000 or like $50, $100 to create something which for which you can tell a story about. And then you sell this story with this art as an NFT. You spend $100, but then you make $1,000, and you do it 10,000 times. You'll fail
Okay.
9,000 times, but then you'll succeed for 1,000 times, and then you'll make enough money. Another something,
Right.
just to ride the wave. This will not last long, uh, but another way to make some money. This is arbitrage. I mean, people who are great artists doesn't always know about NFTs. People who know about NFT where there's financial value are not necessarily always the great artists. So there's a gap where you can play and get some value, capture some value.
No, but this whole arbitrage thing,
Hmm.
uh, I think if our previous thinking is correct and you could have something like a gallery, I think this whole thing could be redundant because the
Uh,
artist can himself or herself build up his own gallery and do stuff.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. The gap is that artists are not even aware about this stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
very few people are aware about this stuff. So they're great artists who are not even aware that something like this exists. Uh,
Hmm.
so the gap is not in the art. The gap is in the information, the knowledge that
Right.
something like this is exists.
Yeah, maybe somebody can just build an app or something around this gallery thing and maybe promote it as a means to have a communication between the artist and the audience. That could still be an interesting experiment.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it'll be interesting. But yeah, I'm just trying to decouple the second and the third idea. So this museum gallery is definitely something worth pursuing, and people will be interested in using if they are aware that about NFTs, this whole space.
Right,
But if somebody is not
right,
even aware about this, you can, as a person who is aware about this, can actually get an art made, attach a story to it, and actually sell it as an NFT, and
right,
actually make use of this opportunity that lies between this asymmetry of information in the world.
right. So yeah, that sounds like a reasonable idea. Again, the utility aspect. I don't think anybody. I mean, I don't know, and I don't think there are too many people who would have a complete understanding of the utility of all this NFT business.
Mhm.
But I could see some value, specifically in the art domain, and I believe that is where it's currently headed. Right?
Yes. So people are now there are some creators who are selling their new music albums as an NFTs. Um, uh, so uh, I mean, the opportunities are large. So music to some has utility now. So for example, when I work, I listen to some sort of music to focus myself. But here's my thought on utilities. So I've been doing some thinking
Okay.
for last many years about utilities, value. So this is
Yes.
like I have just put all of my thinking of last few years into this one simple formula. So
Okay.
value is proportional to scarcity upon utility. Now, what do I mean by this?
Okay.
So something is more valuable if something is more scarce, and something is less valuable if it has more utility. Let me explain. Now,
Okay.
there are So if the utility is high, which means availability is high, which means it is less scarce.
Right.
Okay, now take any metal which is mostly used, zinc, copper, tin, they are widely used, aluminum, they're widely used. So they have certain
Right.
value, but not as much as gold, which is rarely used, only in a few applications. Rarely used,
Okay.
but is very scarce. So that
Okay.
has a different value perception in our heads. If you really
Right.
think about it, again, now this next example could be one of the worst examples ever given in the history of YouTube. But uh, hear
Okay.
me out. So, how many friends do you have?
What kind of friends?
Any friends, acquaintances, friends, anybody that you talk to, you take help
Uh,
from.
Maybe not more than 50.
Great. And how many spouses do you have?
Just one.
Yes. So spouse is scarce. Friends are many because we have utility. Every friend is useful. I mean, in Hindi, in India, there was this jingle of one end, "Har ek friend zaruri hota hai," which in English means every friend is useful. Uh, so this could be one of the worst examples ever given in the history of the internet.
It
Uh, but
surely is.
but my point is, you value friends differently than your spouse or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your
Right.
partner because
Yeah.
you have plenty of friends, but then only one of them.
Right.
and
I
uh,
understand.
and if you have absolutely zero of use of any of these friends, slowly the connection just fades away. So you do not keep in touch, things change, life happens, and then after many years you meet this person and then you say, hey, long time no see. You did not see this person because there was no utility. Now utility does not have to be really materialistic. Utility could as simple as just brainstorming a different idea. I mean, that is also
Right.
utility. So you have these 50 friends, or I have these 50 friends with different utilities in my life, and their utilities are high. And probably in
Okay.
my partner, these all these I'll not find all these 50 utilities, but this one
Sure.
partner in my head is scarce, is one of a kind.
Right.
So I value
Right.
them, and I do not keep 10, 15, 30 of these people. I just have one which is highly valuable to me, scarce. Again, my example, how mind perceives even without knowing, between scarcity and utility.
I
If this was the
understand.
bad example, let us know in the comments. But so yeah, so uh, great example or bad example, I don't know, but this helps me in getting my point across often.
No, I understand what you're saying. Scarcity has a different kind of value attached to it, while really valuable things can have a different kind of value attached to it.
Yes,
I understand what you're
yes,
saying.
yes. Because uh, you can actually measure utility. So it's easier to assign a value to it, but you cannot measure scarcity. And it's difficult. And that is when people can just outbid you and give something even more value than it deserves, maybe.
Right, right.
But that is not a bug, that is a feature, if you look at it.
Okay, that's a feature.
Okay.
Huh, fine. So the whole idea of NFTs is central about the fact that the value in something is more and more perceived rather than
Yes.
objective, right?
Yes. Value is always perceived. Sometimes uh, there are reasons to value something, and those reasons are utilities. So, for example, if you have a use of something, then you value it how much useful this something is to you. But if something is
Right,
not useful to you, then you assign a different formula to value something. Now, because this is not
right.
useful to you, but then you assign for how many people this could be valuable. Then you look at it a
Okay.
very different way, which is again a paradoxical formula. For how many other people this could be valuable, so that's how I'll assign value to it, and it's all depends on your perceived value.
So
What do you
same thing.
perceive?
I mean,
Yeah.
essentially the same thing. Yes.
Yes. And as they say, value is always perceived. So
It's always perceived, and as far as the digital art thing goes, this could be a useful thing to consider in future. Sure.
yes, but I really like how this new trend or fad or this new revolution has actually helped some artists make money finally without the middleman. I mean, this time there's no middleman. That the creator directly
Hmm.
connects with the buyer.
Right. There is no middleman around, but I think those middlemen had to do a lot with the promotion aspect of
Access,
the piece, right? The accessibility, right? So
accessibility. Yes.
the accessibility here is promised by the blockchain technology, but I still don't know whether this kind of accessibility is enough, or we would still encounter these middlemen again on the platform itself to accelerate all this, to accelerate all the growth.
Yeah. I mean, you are right. I mean, we can still see some sort of middleman coming in and saying, "Hey, we have even more access than this platform because platform is
Right.
open, but to bring eyeballs to this platform, you still need some sort of influence in the outside
Yeah,
world."
and yeah, bringing influence is also a value that could
Yep.
be harnessed.
Yep. But actually, now this is something that you get on top of existing open internet instead of these people being the gatekeepers. So earlier,
Right.
if you cannot impress these persons, these people, you cannot get in.
Huh,
You have
getting in might be easier
yes.
now. Yes.
Yes. So, the other day I was just doing this thought experiment. I'll not take too long now. The thought experiment. Just imagine if you had to take permission from somebody every time you launched a website. Internet would not be
Right.
here where it is right now. The
Right.
permissionlessness, the ability to anybody to create a website, then attract some eyeballs. If they are not able to attract some eyeballs, the website dies, the business dies. Somebody else does the same thing with more eyeballs. They succeed. This idea is open to me. Hey, just openness of it, just openness that you do not have to take permission from somebody, you do not have to impress one person to validate your creativity or your idea or your thing.
Right.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah. Right. I understand that. Yeah. It's earlier, if you had to publish something, you had to go to the standard media outlets,
Yes.
but now
Yes.
you can just quickly roll up a website and things are on
Yes.
your way.
Oh, absolutely. I
So
mean, uh, it's just that you don't have to take permission anymore. It's
yes.
not. Um, uh, if you have an idea, you just make a YouTube video about it, just like we are doing.
Right.
You just put it out. If somebody sees. If they don't, they don't. But
Right.
actually, now you have
One.
ability to.
Yeah. Yeah, one less thing to worry about.
Yes.
That's what I would
Yes.
say.
Yes. Yes. So I think that was it.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. This was our discussion on little openness of the internet, crypto, NFTs, some ideas here and there, and a bad example. All right. See you next time.
Bye bye.
Peace.